Alright, we should be live. Microphone check. Microphone looks good. Okay, and we are back and we are building more Bilbo because Arena does not have question mark Lord of the Rings active yet. Yes, little chocobo. We are building more Bilbo. So I don't believe the Lord of the Rings set is up yet, and even if it is, it would just have gone up like in the past 20 minutes. And I don't know if it's still true. I do remember very consistently new sets on Arena tend to make Arena crash pretty hard, as is the case with most um, things when they first go live. The servers just can't handle the stress of everybody trying to do the thing immediately. So rather than fight with that, we'll just work on Bilbo now, and then we'll decide later, like probably not before I go to work, so not in the immediate future, but maybe tonight when I get home from work. Probably tomorrow. Like, I don't think I'll be working on Bilbo too much the rest of the week. We might do like a little stream here and there, and then immediately jump into drafting the new set. Unless I'm doing absolutely god awful at drafting the new set and I'm going broke. Then we might work on Bilbo just because I can't afford to keep drafting the new set. Anyway, I forgot to note this last time when I ended the stream, but we were up to the Modern Horizon set, so let's go into the first one and see what we can find. Alright, so Answered Prayers is another Soul Sister enchantment. It can also be... Oh no, that's not optional. If it isn't a creature, it becomes a 3/3 angel creature with flying in addition to its other types until end of turn. So if I play a creature, it does become a creature immediately, and that's not optional. That's a little bit annoying, because I might not want it to be a creature most of the time. It is still another Soul Sister, though, so I might want it. Modern Horizons. This is Answered Prayers. 1 white for an enchantment. Don't need the Astrolabe. Whenever you cycle Astral Drift or another card, while this is on the battlefield, you may exile target creature and then return it. So it's okay. Astral Slide was the other one that was like this. Then it has cycling itself. Makes some 1/1s and has flashback. Brain Feeder reprint, Collector Ooh, Vampire, Deep Forest Hermit. It is 5 bodies for triggering all of our other things, which makes it a little bit tempting. Also, the bodies aren't super large and impressive, which goes a long way towards... Oops. Annoyed my fan. 1 second. Goes a long way to... Lost my train of thought now. You gain a lot of life if you're running a bunch of the Soul Sisters cards with it, so it puts a bunch of bodies on the table. The bodies can block for you, and every Soul Sister in play is another 5 life that we're gaining off of doing this. And then if we have Boon Reflection or Alhamrat's Archive, that's 10 life. Yeah, I might be interested in Deep Forest Hermit. It's 3 green for an Elf Shaman or Elf Druid? Elf Druid. I think Deranged Hermit is just an elf. I don't think they bothered with the race class split that much back then. Don't need file. It's a reprint. Dregscape. Endling. Ephemerate. Would I want Ephemerate at all? I already have some other blink effects that are repeatable, so only getting 2 blinks and only one of them being able to save my creature from a targeted removal spell, not a board wipe. Yeah, you probably don't need Ephemerate. Sliver's Chosen, First Sphere Gargantua, Force of Vigor. Don't need any of these 3 forces, I don't think. As versatile as Generous Gift is, I do want to keep exiling our opponent's stuff, not just destroying it. Counter on that creature, no. Grave Shifter, Hall of Heliod's Generosity. We do have a lot of enchantments that I'm running, so maybe I want to consider the Hall. It's a land that can get them back. Heliod's Generosity. Excuse me. Don't need Hex Drinker. Don't need Hogak. Foster, Irregular. Sacks a creature, exile all opponents' graveyards, create a 1/1 spirit, or gain 4 life, and it's 3, 4, 6 mana to do all 4. It does exile all graveyards, like all opponents' graveyards, which means it will also exile the creature if it was a physical creature and not a token that got sacrificed. It's still not amazing, though, at either 3 or 6 mana. 1 second. Alright, we'll see if that cleared out my throat for a little bit. Convoke, yeah. Mindrake. Mob. Morphon. Mother Bear. Cultivator's a reprint. Don't think I'm running Nurturing Peatland or the white-black one either. I forget what its actual name is. Enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a creature card with mana value 1 or less, reveal it, and put it in your hand. Sacrifice it. Your opponent can't cast non-creature spells this turn. So most of the Soul Sisters are 1-drops. I don't know that I care about the casting non-creature spells this turn portion of the Ranger Captain, though. It might still be worth running just because I can go get the 1-drops. So, this is full title again, Ranger Captain of Eos. Captain of Eos, 1 white, for a human soldier ranger. Two, 3/3. Alright. Recruit the Worthy is 4 mana with buyback to make a 1/1. I think at that point I would rather have Sprout Swarm. Although I forget if Sprout Swarm is a sorcery or not. Like, just being able to guarantee I make a creature every turn might be worth it. And since Recruit the Worthy doesn't have a target, it has to get countered to get rid of it. Yeah, okay. I'll consider that one too. We'll have to see if Sprout Swarm is an instant. I can't remember if it is. I know it has Convoke and Buyback, so it gets out of hand the more creatures you make. I can't remember if it had the last little bit of silliness that it's also an instant, because it's been so long since Future Sight drafts. Exile a creature card from my graveyard, create a 1/2. Excuse me. I don't need Savage Swipe. Scale up would be okay with the number of little creatures that I have, but again, I'm not planning on winning through damage, so best use of my resources. Yeah, I don't think we need Sarah. Silent Clearing, that's the white-black one. The Sling Gang makes 2 goblins, and then I can sacrifice a goblin to drain 1. Splicer's Skill. Spring Bloom Druid. Either of the swords. Oak Umbra. Top Ambusher. Trumpeting Herd. Scout. Fighter. With X and yeah, we're not gonna cast any X spells, I don't think, with this deck. If we do, it would be in like a gain X, and I'm probably not running any of those because they're a bit underwhelming, even if we do gain like a trillion life off of it. Return target creature card with power 1 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. And it has Evoke 1 in white. Again, I think we have enough small creatures that I might be interested in something like that. Like a repeatable... Because if we can flicker this thing, then we can keep getting the little creatures back until the Vesper Lark gets killed, so... One, yeah. Hey, seems good. The Ward-Eye Witch, no. Webweaver Changeling, no. Winds of Abandon, probably. One white, sorcery. Yeah, exiling all of our opponent's creatures and thinning their deck out of land does seem like something I might be interested in. Would we want Yawgmoth at all? Like, he's okay, but he lets us pay life to draw cards, but we do need creatures to sacrifice also. So, it's decent, but it's not amazing. And we don't have, aside from him, we wouldn't have enough proliferate shenanigans, like counters on our stuff, I don't think. Or we would want to proliferate enough, or proliferate consistently, so. Alright, so I probably want Abiding Grace if I'm running all of these Soul Sister-like effects, since it can also just randomly gain me life if I don't have anything in the graveyard. Abiding Grace. I did think this was a 2-mana enchantment, though, so... I mean, it's fine, it still does the thing. I don't think we make clues or treasures often enough to want the Academy Manufacturer to give us, like, food tokens for life gain on top of that. I don't think. Nor am I planning on making so many foods that I would want to run this just to get some treasures and clues while we're at it. Don't need the Javelineer, the Mauser, the Prototype, Sorrows, Archon of Cruelty. I do get to draw a card and gain 3 life when it attacks, or ETBs, but still not exactly where I think this deck wants to be, so. Gain Hexproof until end of turn, gain 2 life, rebound. Nope. Bottle Golems, no. Braids. 3 mana, 2/2 flying lifelink. When it or another creature enters the battlefield under your control, if it entered from the graveyard or was cast from the graveyard, put a 1/1 counter on this thing. Copperchrome, captured by Legox. Garth the Lion. Chatterfang. If I knew I was going to be making lots of tokens to gain life, like token creatures in order to gain the life, I could see running Chatterfang just to get extra tokens. Repeatable token generators seem fine for this deck. I just don't want to turn this into a like absent version of Riss or anything. I want the focus to be on the life gain. Staying alive. Yes, I will still consider Chatterfang, but I don't know that he's gonna make it. It's 3 and a green. SQUIR. IRR. World General. Oh, I forgot to put his title there. He's a Squirrel Warrior. 3/3. Squirrel. Well, at least he's not a Squirrel Lieutenant. All the fun words to try and spell. Chitter Spitter, no. Clattering Augur, no. Full of the Realm, Crack Open. Damn. The Bridges. I don't think I need Voidwalker as a backup exile card so that they don't go the graveyard effect. Graykeeper only makes 2 squirrels. Print. I need endurance. Esper Sentinel. I do have a bunch of things that can randomly tutor for Esper Sentinel, but we're not pumping up its power, so we rarely will get to draw the card. Most players will just pay the 1, marginally annoyed by it. I would prefer to get a card off of that with some regularity. Or to have enough pressure on them that they're having to pay for multiple things. Destroy target artifact or enchantment, no. Glimmer Baron, rather. Glittering Creeper. Card from your graveyard to the battlefield with an additional 1/1 counter on it. Return up to 2 target creature cards with power 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Yeah, at 5 mana, I don't feel like that's worth a card in our deck. Don't need Healer's Flock. What did Grist do again? It's a 1/1 insect. Create a 1/1 black and green, mill a card. If it's an insect, put a loyalty counter on Grist and repeat the process. May sack a creature, destroy target creature or planeswalker, and each opponent loses life equal to number of creature cards in my graveyard. Nope. Can't run a Global Hierarch. Avenger, Jewel-Eye Cobra, Cauldra, Karmic Guide, Basic Land Cycling, opponent's graveyard on the bottom of their library. Card Explores, Fork. Destroy target creature you don't control with mana value 3 or less. New. What else we got? Skillion, Scrapling, Familiar, Metal Cyst, new. Whenever you gain life, put that many 1/1 counters on each creature you control. Do this only once each turn. Yeah, that's another one where it's a life gain payoff, but it's just killing our opponents faster, and that's not what I'm actually trying to do with the deck, so. Raise. Target creature from your graveyard to the battlefield as a sorcery. Ending. Profane Tutor. I need Resurgent Belief. Protection from black and red. Enters the battlefield, exile all cards that are black or red from all graveyards. And then they don't get to go to the graveyard. Yeah, that's not helping anything. Like, either I can exile the stuff already and I don't need that, or it's exiling my stuff and I don't want that. Scour the desert, Scurry Oak. Search the premises. Emissary new. Mr. Starfish. Here, Sojourner's Companion. Solitude has flash, lifelink, and it exiles up to one other target creature. It swords to plowshares another creature. Yeah, I'm probably interested in Solitude. It's 4 mana, 5 mana. Base 3 white. These things are elementals. Are they anything else? Elemental Incarnation. Two. Soul Snare we already have on the list. Soul Migration. For a non-token creature you control dies, you may pay 1. If you do, return Squirrel Sanctuary to its owner's hand. Sudden Edict. Gain 1 life and draw a card. Depends on how many enchantments I have, but the fact that we also get to gain life and draw the card makes her feel more at home in this deck. So it's Sythis. Yes. Harvest Hand, Hand of the Harvest, Harvest Hand. 8. Fix that later. Discard a card, create a food token, return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Nope. Frosta, Timeless Dragon, Timeless Witness, Tireless Provisioner. Tireless Provisioner is not terrible. Gives me a delayed 3 life off of landfall or treasure to help me ramp. Yeah, I might be in the market for that. Two and green. Elf Scout 3/2. Canticle, Tragic Fall, Potential. Not have enough devotion to black for Underworld Hermit to be a thing. Create 2 squirrels, counter target loyalty ability of a planeswalker, exile target card from a graveyard, or gain 3 life. No. Vermin Gorger. Hydra. Maya. Necromancer. Zoran Orb. Okay. Listen. Easy through the modern sets. Next up is Morningtide. Ambassador Oak. Snitch. I don't think we have enough Kithkin or soldiers to care about that. Would deal damage to a player, prevent X of that damage. If a source would deal damage to any player, prevent X of that damage, where X is the number of clerics you control. That is weird. Don't think we need that. I might be in the market for Bitter Blossom, though. Making a free creature every turn. Like, we should be able to gain more life than we're losing from that, and having... Bitter Blossom, all one word? I forget. Yeah, it is. Tribal enchant. Yeah, it's making 1/1s every turn, so we should be able to gain life at least as fast as it's dealing damage to us, and probably way, way faster. And it's very cheap to get started. Raj. Creature enters the battlefield on your control. You may look at the top X cards of your library, where X is that creature's power. If you do, put one of those cards on top and the rest on the bottom in any order. The Glamour. Destinies. Park Shaman. Lid, Few Killer's Verdict. I gain 10 life, then if I have more life than an opponent, create a 5/5 Giant Warrior token. I mean, if I'm not running a card like Sorin's Vengeance that deals 10 and gains me 10, I don't know that I want to spend 6 mana to gain 10 life and make a 5/5. Seems medium at best. Like, we should almost always create the 5/5. It's going to be nearly impossible for us not to, but... When target creature dies this turn, return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control. And deals damage to a creature. No. 3 elves. Idyllic Tutor. I mean, we should have enough enchantments that I want Idyllic Tutor. Here. 2 and a white. Sorcery. Enters a battlefield with a 1/1 counter on it for each other Kithkin. Dies, create a 1/1 for each counter on it. Nope. Gain 2 life for each permanent you control of that type. No. Even if all my creatures were the same type, I would rather run like 3 or 4 other cards that gain me a ton of life based on creatures in play. Or I would consider that one. Murmuring Bosk is a forest. Can fix for white or black, so. Don't think we need Mutavault, Nightshade Schemers, Noggin Whack, Full Snout. Whenever another tree folk enters the battlefield on your control, you may gain life equal to that creature's toughness. We have other options that would gain us life based on any creature's toughness that we're not running, because we're not running enough big guys. Branches, no. Do we want the Revel Arc as a bigger thing of the Vesper Lark? Probably want to consider it. Revel. Oh no, it's Lark. For 3. 4 and a white. 3. There we go. And so there's the Revel Arc. Riss. Whenever the exiled attacks, you gain 1 life for each elf you control. Don't think we're running enough elves for that to matter. He's not particularly impressive otherwise, so. Fight. Toppable Ash. Not running anywhere near enough giants or wizards to care about Greybeard. Nope, okay. So that's Morningtide. Onward to Nemesis. I don't think there's anything, unless there's a spell shaper that I'm forgetting about that's actually useful in this deck. Angelic Favor, Animate Land, Ascendant Evancar. Exile target attacking creature's controller gains life equal to its toughness. That's still pretty weak overall. Like, it's a 2-mana 1/1, and then I have to wait a turn cycle before I can activate it. And then I have to discard cards every time I want to use it. Like, all of that together seems like I could be doing way better with something else. Blinding Angel is alright if I want somebody I think is going to attack me to not be able to, but. And I can get through with the Blinding Angel on top of that. That seems like an awfully narrow set of circumstances. Witch, the Yawgmoth. Attacking creatures become blocked. No. Renal combat damage that would be dealt by target attacking creature this turn. Seems medium. As a Maze of Ith type effect. And creature has first strike. No. I think we need the Lawbringer or Lightbringer. Civvy. Player exiles 2 cards from their hand. No. Pay half your life, destroy target non-black creature. Nah, I think we're good. Whenever my creature blocks, I gain 2 life. That's a 5 mana enchantment. Yeah, no, if this were, like, significantly cheaper, I might actually run that. Like, gaining 2 life every time I block, in addition to preventing the damage. Probably be okay. I don't have a way to interact with Parallax Wave such that it would be able to exile the things forever. Plague Witch, Predator Flagship, Crackling, no. Gain 6 life, no. Silence, Rogue, Sapperling Burst, Cluster, Cleansing, Seals, Order, Civi's Ruse. Prevent all damage will be dealt this turn to creatures you control. Not the worst, but it's not good enough, I don't think. All damage will be dealt to target creature this turn is dealt to you instead. Less impressive. Behemoth, no. Skyshroud Claim is the one that gets to Forest. We're probably interested in that one. Alright, so this is Nemesis. Skyshroud. It's 3 and a green for a sorcery. Okay. I don't need Poacher, Ridgeback, Sentinel. Creatures and lands you control have Shroud. Whenever a creature you control attacks, sacrifice Spiritual Asylum. How many things do I have that would want to target my creatures? Because I don't need to attack. But I also don't want to lose the ability to target my own stuff. I feel like I have enough things that want to target my things. But maybe I don't. Goron Orb, Enlightened Tutor, Grim Feast, Withering Boon. Reconnaissance, Soul Warden. Reconnaissance would be one of them, since I can remove my creatures from combat if I wanted to run that. Aura, Skyshroud Claim, Aura Shards, Arena, Graveborn Muse, Solemn Hello, Ariok Champion, Beacon of Immortality, Principle of Worlds, Eternal Witness. Oh, right, I would want to target the things with, like, Conjurer's Closet and whatnot, so yeah, we can't run Spiritual Asylum. Like, Conjurer's Closet and Teleportation Circle are doing way better in our deck than Asylum would. Yeah, if it gave Hexproof, maybe, since I don't really care about attacking anyway. With the Grace Palmon, creatures on the battlefield. I mean, yes, that's more often going to hit an opponent's creature than mine. It does target, though, even though it, can hit anything, so that's kind of awkward. Like, if it was just exile the creature with the greatest power, if there's a tie, I choose. I might have been more interested in that effect. Don't need the voice or Volrath or anything. Alright, so that was Nemesis. After Nemesis, we have New Phyrexia. Alloy Mirror, Apostle's Blessing, Survivors, good old Batterskull. Probably not what I want. Blade Splicer. I'm looking at it like it is a 4/4 Vigilance lifelink, and it also is a very expensive, repeatable way to have a creature enter the battlefield and die by bouncing the Batterskull and having the germ die, and then replaying the Batterskull and getting a fresh germ. But that seems way too involved. Like, we're not going to have time to do that normally. I am trying to drag the game out, but still, I feel like I need to be doing other stuff. Don't need the Caress. Deals 6 damage to each creature it blocked this combat. Annex of the Dross and of the Tangle. Target player discards 2 cards. No. Spies or Dismember. If I knew I was going to have enough artifacts, I would run Dispatch, but we're ramping with Land Ramp instead. Due Respect. I don't think I need Norn. Like, she's okay in this deck because she makes all the opponent's creatures weaker and buffs up ours, which can save them from something like Norn coming down. The creatures you control get +2. I guess I put her on the list just in case. Like, I will consider her, but Rexia, Norn, Grand Cenobite, 5 white, Phyrexian, Praetor, 4/7. I don't need Enslave, Entomber Exarch. Monstrosity, Evil Presence. Six mana, exiles a non-land permanent. We don't have any way to blink enchantments, though. Probably not. Retire artifact. It's or loses a life. No. Affliction, Hex Parasite, Air Explosion, Visitor Exarch. Karn liberated. Karn does exile everything he interacts with. And that is kind of what I want to be doing. I don't know that I'm going to be able to necessarily protect him is the only issue. But 7 mana, Planeswalker. He starts off on 6 loyalty. Alright. Infect creatures, 1 damage each attacking creature, make some golems. Would I want Malera, Sylvok, Outcast? I don't play against enough poison decks that I feel like I need her. She does also stop -1/-1 counters from going on my creatures, which would be fun with like kitchen finks and whatnot. Eh, I will consider her, but I don't know that she's gonna make it. IRA. Lira. Outcast. One in the green. Choose a human scout 2/2. Alright. Excuse me. Growth. Mycosynth Fiend. Wellspring. Superion. No. I don't think I need Norn's Annex. Like, instead of trying to stop the opponents from being able to attack us in the first place, I have a bunch of cards that punish them for attacking me, so. Could run the Phyrexian Unlife Malera combo, but I should be able to stay far enough ahead on life that if we got to that point, things have gone so horribly wrong. Yeah, I might be in the market for Pristine Talisman. Ramp and life gain. Pure Steel Paladin. Reaper. Create a 3/3 golem, and they have vigilance. No. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under an opponent's control, you may gain 3 life. Yeah, it sounds like what this deck is all about. 3 white, right? It's a 5-drop. Phyrexian Angel, 3/3. Sholdred, Shriek Raptor. I don't think we need Sholdred. And when you cast a white spell, it gets a charge counter. Sacrifice Shrine of Loyal Legions, create a 1/1 colorless Phyrexian Mirror for each charge counter that was on. Shrine of Piercing Vision. Slicer, Soul Conduit. Suture Priest. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under my control, I may gain a life. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under an opponent's control, I may have that player lose a life. Honestly, I would rather just gain a life for their creatures coming in too. If I could do that, I'd be way more interested in it. I'm gonna go with no to Torpor Orb. Seems bad for me. Triumph, Unwinding Clock, Vault Scourge. Gain life equal to the number of creatures on the battlefield plus the number of artifacts on the battlefield. Nope. That was New Phyrexia. Edition, Oath of the Gatewatch. What are we at? 50 minutes? Aili, the Eternal Pilgrim. Sacrifice another creature, gain life equal to its toughness. Sacrifice another creature, exile target non-land permanent only if you have 10 or more life above your starting life total. She does exile. She can hit anything, and meeting the life requirement is not that difficult. So the hard part's going to be making sure I have enough ways to make creatures for her, and we added a bunch of token makers already, so... Yeah, let's go to Oath. AYLI. The white and the black. She's a 4 cleric, 2. Okay. Bear of Silence. Don't think I need Bonds of Mortality. I do exile most of the opponent's stuff anyway, so the indestructible part's not relevant. And I have a few ways to get around hexproof already, too. Whenever you gain life, each opponent loses 1 life. Nope. I just want to gain more life. Collection. Uh, I don't know how many colorless sources I will have for the Displacer. Being able to flicker my creatures to get their ETBs again when I'm gaining life off of creatures coming into play, and some of them are going to be like deranged hermit style creatures. And I'm going to add it to the list and we'll see if I have enough. Eldrazi Displacer. 2 and a white for an Eldrazi 3/3, I believe. Yep. Don't need Uprising. Embodiment of Insight. Endbringer. Essence Leader. Art. Of Truth. For 2. Gletus is fine, but I don't think we need him. We don't really need him to be graveyard hate, and we don't need him to... like, he's only a lifelink creature, so he's doing a little bit of things that we're interested in, but not enough. Has more life than me. No. If anybody has more life than me, I've either been hit by, like, Soren Markov's -3 level effect, or things have gone horribly wrong, or somebody is somehow gaining life way faster than me, and that's impressive. Because I don't think that's reasonable. I don't think anybody is naturally going to have as much life gain in their deck as we're going to have in ours. Like, Oloru would have trouble keeping up with us unless they are extremely dedicated life gain, not just taking advantage of their free 3 life every turn for other things. Battleback, Scion Summoner, Gate Wreckage. Attacking or blocking creature with power 2 or less. X is the number of creature cards in your graveyard. Nope. Drone, Stonehaven Outfitter. Masterwork. Advocate. Path Warden. Yep. Okay. Ought Not Seer. probably still no on Thought Not Seer. Like, we can take away certain players' cards and give cards to other players if we find ourselves in a situation where we think a specific player is the problem or a specific player is very much not the problem, and we can tear apart the other player's hands and exile their cards. Hmm. I'm looking at Warping Whale, and I'm thinking about countering wrath effects that would sweep away all of our creatures. Um, the fact that it can exile creatures with 1 power or toughness or 0 power. Again, I don't know that I'm gonna consistently have the colorless sources that I would need to be able to hold this up when we need to. Make sure we have Wrath Insurance or whatnot. I'm also looking at Worldbreaker now, since it exiles the non-planeswalker, non-creature permanent types. Well, now it doesn't hit battles either, I guess, so like, it's still okay, and it is still an exiling thing. Also, I feel like I glossed over the... Oh, no, wait, maybe it's in the... Was it in Battle for Zendikar, then? Where was the Scion token maker enchantment from? Because that would make O1s that are ramping us. That would have been Battle for Zendikar, right? Yeah. Hey, real quick, let me go back to Battle for a second before we continue. I might have glossed over it because I wasn't overly concerned with creature token production, but I think, is it 3 mana or 4 mana to get that thing started? I can't even remember the actual proper name of it either, so I don't think we need Brood Monitor. I might possibly be in the market for... Oh, wait. I think this is the more expensive one, because this is the one that makes 1/1s, not 0/1s. It's Rise of the Eldrazi. Yeah, it's From Beyond. Hmm. Okay, 1/1 colorless Scion creature token. I did scroll past the Eyeless Watcher. Oh, no, that one only makes 2 of them. For some reason, I was thinking this thing made 3 of them, but it's a Hill Giant's worth of stats for 4 mana. Then the 6-drop up here makes how many again? Brood Monitor is a 6-drop, and it makes 3 of them, giving you a grand total of 6/6 worth of stats. Because they are cards I can blink to make more tokens. So I was considering it if they made enough of them. So From Beyond makes a free 1/1 every turn for 4 mana. I guess I will consider it. Oops. That bring us to the hour mark? It does. Alright, so we'll add From Beyond. Oops. Just close out everything. Get 3 and a green for an enchantment. Because I already have, like, Glasscast Heart on the list, too, so probably want a few token makers that just keep consistently giving me tokens for no extra mana, or that give me a bunch for coming into play. Alright, so that will do it for this one. Yeah, I'm gonna go another hour, but we'll break it up for the VODs, so just give me a moment.